Yo, let's pump up the bass line.
Welcome back to the Dream Ride series, a series where I tell you how to build your favorite cars from movies and video games. Also for as cheap as possible. Little disclaimer, the costs that are found in this video are based on local areas around where I live, so these costs may not be correct in a couple of years, or depending if you live somewhere very different. But I live in California, so you're probably gonna have to split the cost in half anyway. Yeah, there's the I hate California joke of the video. Yeah, get me out of here. Also, I'm sorry if I look really shiny. It's because I'm sweating because the AC is not working and my fan has to be off when I record, or else I get a lot of weird sounds, so that's why I'm shiny. Now for this episode, roughly after about 2 or 3 comments, I decided to help you guys build the one, the only bassline. I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed this video because it took a long time to find all the research for this. Also, don't sue me if you blow your eardrums out after this build. Alright, so the first things first, we gotta decide the base. Normally, I would pick a very, very cheap car for the base of the build, but so many of you guys wanted a certain car to be the base that I'm pretty sure I'd get crucified if I didn't pick that car. What really sucks is that I think that was the only choice too, because a lot of the trucks that were possible things like the 2013 Ridgeline or fastback attachments to bigger trucks, it just didn't work because all those have super big truck cabs where they can fit practically a whole family in there. And it really blows because the 2013 Honda Ridgeline would have been perfect for that build if not for the fact that it had a giant cab and a short truck bed.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Overwhelmingly, you guys told me that the best car for this build was the Holden Ute, or the Ute, as I call it. I don't know what anyone else calls it, so please don't get mad at me. Now, at first, I didn't think this car looked anything like the baseline that we all know and love. But then I realized it's because I was only looking at the front end. If you take a look around the car, you'll see that it actually looks a lot closer than I originally thought. By the way, for this model, look what I got. Yeah, the Discord, they told me that this thing's apparently rare. It's a piggy bank. The back is spot on, minus the wraparound lights. The profile is almost there, but the sloped rear part of the cab is perfect for what we want. And then we finally get to the front end. This part irritates me because the rest of it is so close, but the front end looks nothing like baseline. Like, doesn't matter what angle you look at, it doesn't look even close. But if it was that easy, this wouldn't be a series, so let's fix this puppy. This car was a little bit more expensive than the base car for most of the builds. And by a little bit more, I mean almost more than the entire build. A used 2011 Ute can cost anywhere between $15,000 and $30,000. To make things simple, we're just gonna round it up to $20,000 because I know you guys will be searching for the best deals possible. Now, let's get on to that body. The problem with the Holden Ute is that compared to the baseline, it is way too skinny. And on top of that, there are not many body kits for the Ute, so this is going to force you to do some body work. Now, one of the first things you notice about the profile of baseline is how huge the fender flares are in the back. These big square flares hold massive wheels that are probably a lot bigger than the stock ones on the Ute. Now, unless you want to spend $1,000 each on each custom fender, you're gonna have to settle. What I found are some square black horse fender flares for a 2018 Chevy Silverado. They may not be the perfect size and they may not fit exactly, but they are probably the biggest on the market. Probably gonna have to cut the fenders a little bit to fit it, but once you paint it white, it's gonna look like it's part of the body. These squared out fender flares are gonna cost you roughly $290 a piece. Now, for that super iconic wing. Now, I actually got pretty lucky with this one, as apparently Daytona style wings are a thing. And that's exactly what Scirocco's wing is. It's a Daytona style wing. I'm not a fan personally, but apparently Scirocco is. The only thing it's missing is the pointed tips, but for another $100, I'm sure you can find a body shop that's be willing to fabricate some small pieces for the wing tips. Altogether, with the fabrication, this will cost probably around $350. Now, for possibly the most difficult part of the entire build, I am talking about that front end. But you know what? I didn't really like the stock front end on the Holden Ute anyway, so just gonna cut that sucker off. Now, I may have worked at a body shop, but it wasn't a custom body shop, and as a result, I didn't know where to begin at all. So what I had to do is I had to use a lifeline and phone a friend. I called up my buddy Robin from the YouTube channel The Broken Specialist. He specializes in custom body parts and everything of that kind of degree. If you guys like watching cars be put together His channel's right here. While he couldn't say for sure, since it was a part that nobody had ever made before, he decided to say that with the parts and labor, the whole facelift was going to cost around $10K to build, minimum. That's a lot of money. But you know what? It's the best we can do. Since we're optimists here at Spoilers, we're just going to say that it costs $10K flat. Now, for the last body change that everyone knows about, that's the biggest thing on Bassline. It's the first thing everyone notices. We are going to be talking about that rear speaker system in the truck bed. Now, there's two ways you can go about this. One, you can pay someone to fabricate one for you. If you make it out of metal, this is going to be a very expensive thing. It's probably going to cost $3,000 to fit exactly what you see on the toy. Or you can go the Broco route and just buy a flat truck bed and drill some holes into it. The choice is yours. I kind of guesstimated the size of the speakers just by kind of looking at it, but these are the sizes that I came up with. They may not be the most amazing speakers on the market, but that's mostly because I'm not a big speaker head. If you guys know some really good speakers that'll get you Scirocco's real sound, let me know in the comments below. For the giant speakers, I decided to go with two SDR-18s, a set of 18-inch subwoofers that'll cost roughly $190. For the mid speakers, I decided to go with the Peavery Sheffield Pro 1200, costing around $80 each. And finally, for the small speakers, I decided to go with two Scar FSX8s. Some smaller 8-inch speakers for $25 a piece. Pair that with a universal underglow kit for $70, blue window tint for $300, custom decals in the paint shop for $2,000, 6-spoke rims and tires for $800, and you are set body-wise. Now comes with the sad part, the full cost. This ain't a cheap build, Paco. This is a car that's going to be out of reach for a lot of people. This is going to be even some people's yearly salary. Altogether, to get the body right, you are looking at the cost of around $37,690. So this is already the most expensive build I've put together, and that's counting the fully complete ones with the proper engines and all that stuff. If you want to be Scirocco, then you gotta have deep pockets. Now obviously there are corners you can cut, like if you want to, you can build it off the aforementioned ridgeline. It'll probably be cheaper, even though you have to mess with the cab a little bit. But this is the closest I can get it with the Ute. Alrighty, now it is time to build that iconic Bassline interior. Now, Bassline interior is probably the one that we see most in all of ACCELERACERS. The problem with this is this is going to take some imagination, mostly because this is a completely custom build. I don't even know how Scirocco afforded this stuff. This wasn't made by Tesla. This was made by Scirocco out of a truck he found. We're going to start off with the seats. Now, Scirocco has got a seat that 100% does not exist in real life. I searched for hours on Google, and the closest I could find were these OMP HTE R400 bucket seats. These bucket seats come with head restraints, which will be useful in the build in a minute. Unfortunately, these seats only come in black, so you're going to have to cost money to get them reupholstered to white. Because, well, good luck finding seat covers to fit a seat like that. You're not going to find anything, Paco. And yes, while I would say, make a custom headrest or, just build your own seat, that's leaving way too much of this build to chance. And I know that you guys want specifics. If I say, oh, just do custom everything, then that's not an interesting video. That's something you could have told yourself. I'm trying to find ways to make parts around the world work so that you can also have a proper cost. Here's another thing. All parts of Scirocco's interior is nowhere near anything that you'll find on the market. As far as I'm concerned, you're way better off just reupholstering the entirety of the inside and making it work. An entire reupholster of the interior to get it to the white and blue colors of the Teku would cost you roughly $2,500. And finally, the last and possibly biggest part of Scirocco's interior are the speakers that are literally everywhere. Now, I may be off in my number, but I counted 8 speakers, 4 on each seat, 2 between the seats, and 1 on each door. And that's not even really going through every frame of the whole show. So, I swear you guys are killing me with this build. The ones in the seats are roughly 4 inches across, so I decided to go with Kenwood Road Series 4-inch two-way car speakers for around $40 a piece. The ones behind the seats are roughly 6 inches across. So I'm going with another set of Kenwoods with a diameter of roughly 6 inches, which for some reason is just as much as the 4-inch. And finally, we have the ones in the doors, which seem to be about 10 inches across. So I decided to go with the Boss Chaos Extreme for another $40 a piece. Got really lucky with these prices, to be honest. Making the entire interior worth $4,526. I think that might be the most expensive interior I've done too. Let me know in the comments below if that's true. Now, I never thought I'd be happy to say this, but let's build that engine, because at the least, I know that exists. On the wiki, it says that Bassline is powered by a fuel-injected V10, making 430 horsepower. For this engine, I decided to pull a block out of a 94 Dodge Magnum, which on eBay costs around $700. Now keep in mind, this engine will be heavily used, and I would very much recommend that you get it rebuilt, which costs roughly $3,000. Now with stock parts, this V10 made 300 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. When you get it rebuilt, you should also invest in head spacers, which will cost around $20 a piece. Now to kick the engine up to 430 horsepower, I would run with nitrous, where on a brand new engine with the head spacers, you can probably run a 150 shot, which will bring you up to roughly 450 horsepower, 20 horses more than Scirocco's build. Now the nitrous kit will cost around $500, making this engine cost $4,240 minimum. Now that we wrap that up, let's all put this together and find out the cost of the entire thing. I am so scared, and I am so sorry. For the baseline build, the car will cost you $37,690. With the full interior, not even counting labor, this car will cost, oh boy, $42,216. And with the ultimate Scirocco Takamoto build, this baseline will cost you a whopping $46,456, not counting labor. Good lord. That's good luck, guys. Not gonna lie, this is probably the most expensive car I've tried to quote-unquote build. I tried, guys, I really did, but there's so much custom work to do that it's impossible to give you a realistic price. It's probably gonna be even more than that. But you know, it's the best I could do, and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. This video took a lot of work to build. I hope that you like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications. Oh, what else does YouTube have you do? Like I said before, there's a Discord that I started. You can join that down below. Let me know what car to build next. It doesn't have to be Hot Wheels. It can be something like Mad Max or Speed Racer or anything like that. Just let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys have a great day. Peace.